Hey, hi, Disco. So, I just wanted to come on and kind of like address this one thing or a few small things that sit under the same umbrella of like unawareness and like the lack of empathy in people. A few small things that just that has been happening too frequently to me in terms of parenting, fatherhood, people seeing me with my son. Okay? So, full disclosure, this is not an attempt in any way to belittle these strangers that a few who obviously have seen me around the neighborhood. And it's been happening in my neighborhood, which is so sad. But it's more so coming from a space of just highlighting and pushing the importance of empathy and awareness and how it's not what you say, but it's how you say things. And like you being aware of how impactful your questions and your words are. So let's jump right in. When Ducky first came home, as we are all aware, he was born severely premature. So when he first came home to his home, he was around 5 pounds, 5.5-ish pounds, but still on the very underweight side. So it took me a while to take him outside because I knew taking him outside would just, being that underweight would just be way too much for me with the stares, the questions, etc., etc. So I chose to just let him stay in until he was around 6.5-ish pounds, and I would take him to our common spaces in my high rise, right? Because we have these beautiful spaces that are outside and inside that I kind of rotated and fluctuated throughout the couple of months. But when I started taking him outside, the first day that I took Ducky outside, I was referred to as a nanny. Then I heard, "Are you the manny?" I heard things like, "Oh my God, he's so tiny. We gotta fatten him up." I heard things like, "Who are you babysitting for?" So those are the things, those are the sensitive spaces that I was in. Oh, also, I was frequently asked, even up to the other day, "Where's your wife? Where's his mom?" And as the reason why I'm bringing this to the platform again is because it just happened once more this past Wednesday afternoon, because that's when my sister was out hanging out. She wasn't with me. My sister was visiting from out of town and has been picking up Ducky with me for the past few days. However, I'm walking home on Wednesday around like 4:45-ish, 5 o'clock, between that time. And I got to a corner, was waiting for the light to change so we can cross the street, and someone, a masculine presenting female, and I'm gonna say that she was holding her partner's hand and they were clearly inebriated or whatever, like they were slurring and kind of like moving around. And I know that that's her partner, I'm assuming, because they were making out before that. She blurted out, "Hey, oh my God, I've never seen a manny before." So I literally side-eyed and was like, "I'm sorry, are you talking to me?" And she was like, "Yeah, I've never seen a manny. You're a manny, right?" I'm like, "No, I'm not a manny. And why would you say that? Like, I'm sorry, do we know each other?" And she's like, "No, I thought you were with her," pointing at a Caucasian lady standing with her child. And her child and Ducky looked very similar in terms of skin color, in terms of the texture of the hair. Ironically, they were both wearing glasses. Her child, I'm not sure what their gender was, but her child had on like a blue pair of glasses and Ducky's was lilac that day. So I was like, no. So now I'm kind of like holding back my annoyance, but trying to receive her from a lost, inebriated person's like, I was just trying my best not to go off on her and just kind of like giving her grace still in that moment. So then I was like, "No, this is my son." And she was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, you're not with her." I'm like, "No, we don't know each other." So the lady turned my direction and was just kind of like, what? We were so confused. And then her partner is standing there just kind of like telling her, that was the most ignorant SHIT that you've ever done. Like, why would you do that? So I obviously sat in my feelings, like walking home, and it just kind of like brought forth all those old emotions. And I was like crying walking home, and I was just like, yo, what is happening in this world where human beings think that that's the proper approach? Why wasn't I given grace as a black man pushing a stroller? Why wasn't that celebrated? Because in our community, it has been said that it is very uncommon to see a black man pushing a stroller independently, let alone a black, clearly gay male. It's never hidden with me. I mean, I'm not the most masculine nor the most feminine presenting, but you can tell, you know, like it's there. However, I'm just like so shocked, and I think I was so emotional because it was someone in my community, and I could not literally compose myself. Like I was like crying on my walk home. I had on my regular glasses, so you can't even hide that I was crying. I couldn't even hide that I was crying, excuse me. I was just like eyes all red, got to my building. My doorman was just kind of like, are you okay? And I was just like, no, I'm not okay, but I don't want to talk about it right now. I just kind of like shut out, got my kid together, put him to bed, fed him, put him to bed. And I was just like looking at him while doing that. And I just kept getting way more emotional because I'm just like, is this going to be a forever thing? Like, is it ever going to be a moment where we can just comfortably be father-son and not like always like the eyebrow raising, like, is that his son? Oh, the hair texture is different. Oh, he's a little lighter than him. Is he really black? Is he this? Is he? It's just too much. And I feel like people are really nasty for that. I think we are forgetting that the world is already in such a shamble, in so much shamble and in such a space of discomfort that we are forgetting to lead with empathy and care and like be more sensitive to situations because you never know. And I'm a walking example of that because you don't know the sensitivity behind my story and my son's story, and it is extremely sensitive. Also, there's already so much discourse in our community where a lot of people in our community and outside of our community do not think that it is healthy for a one-parent household, let alone a black gay male, you know, like raising a son. A lot of people frown upon that. So it's just like, it's too much. To sum this up, please, lead with empathy, have some care, lead with love, stop assuming, stop being intentionally rude. Give people a break. Give people a break. Spread love. We are already in this weird ass space. Let's not add to it. Let's take away from it. Everything else, return to sender.